Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel and some more D&D coverage here. So we've had a couple of products from Spelljammer in the recent months that we had a good streak here of finding some of these things at Gen Con this year. So Spelljammer, of course, has been around since 2nd Ed here. I know they've, I think, done like a recent refresh with us for 5th, but this is the original set. Found it complete in box, really good condition as well. So we're going to show you guys what you would expect if you're getting into the old Spelljammer stuff. Again, a lot of just really great ideas, a lot of fertile ground here for not just playing in the Spelljammer setting, but just your D&D library essentially as well. But as a setting, of course, D&D in space, basically just to be very, very simple with it. But the neat thing with all these old box sets, of course, if you can find them complete in good condition, there's just always so much stuff in here that really just well worth picking it up if you can find it in good condition and also a good price. But just like with our coverage of Birthright and a little bit of Ravenloft and the other settings that we've been dipping into, there's just so much good stuff from way back when. So it's really worth if you want to start collecting, but also just really again adding tons of great stuff to your D&D library if you're a DM, right? There's so much stuff here to really just infinitely expand your gaming horizons on this. So we're going to take a look at the box. Again, this is the core box for Spelljammer. We've looked at some of the other box sets and adventures and stuff, again, from our recent purchases, and then we'll show you everything that you would expect inside. And again, just to drive home the point, too, of just the sheer amount of stuff that you get in here. So first up, we're getting a softback book in here. They had that one backwards, but so this one is called Concordance of Arcane Space. And again, down the road, we'll have a video with some like actual coverage as we delve into the setting and what it means to actually run Spelljammer. But again, you're getting a pretty decent sized book here, coming in at a little over 90 pages for the first one, right? So that's just the first one, right? Then we have the Lore of the Void, and again, love all the old artwork that we get on here. So this is another similarly sized book, so we're already pushing like a 200-page book. So if you compare that to, what you get in some of these modern refreshes where it's just like a $50, $60 book, really well done, of course, on a lot of the modern stuff, but you're just getting so much more with these old ones as well. So you got two of those. We'll kind of turn sideways here for a little bit. You get some ship stat cards. So that was a neat thing. You could, actually have like battles in space and stuff like that with these, and a lot of just weird, funky designs that they would have here on so many of these vessels. And then giving you like cross sections and everything as well. So you get several of these in here. Oops, if we can get these out of here without ruining anything, that would be ideal. So, it gives you plenty of ships to use as the means of transportation, but for encounters and everything too, you already have maps drawn out essentially for you. You don't have to come up with all this stuff from scratch. So more traditional looking ship there. Then we get the Man-O-War. Wasp. Dragon ship, that looks pretty cool. Nautiloid. Of course, dealing with the mind flayers and everything is always a pain in the butt in any setting. Dragonfly. Tradesman. Squid ship, literally. Hammer ship. still got more to go. There's so much stuff in this box. So again, when you're, I guess we get 2 of those, maybe slightly different ones, but we'll kind of speed past that. Another squid ship. Maybe they're just giving us multiples. Yeah, another tradesman. A ton of these cards so far. Dragonfly. That looks pretty cool. Yeah. Another Nautiloid. Another dragon ship. Yeah. I think we're just getting some duplicates, but that's cool. So plenty of that. Yep, another Man of War. So, oops, one more hiding on that. And another galleon, just for completeness sake. So there's a ton of stuff taken. What is this poking on the side here? Not 100% sure. Probably double check on the back of the box for a description, but something I think related to probably playing on the actual map field. Speaking of which, we're not going to unfurl the whole thing for you guys, but basically, like I said, you have the ability to essentially have a game within a game here. So obviously you got your classic D&D as far as adventuring and stuff like that. You got your ships that you're adventuring around in space and stuff, but there would be encounters. So you would have battles in space. So they have this whole like hex grid battle system as well. So you get a giant map basically for doing that. This in here is upside down. So let's bring that up here again. Won't unfurl the whole thing right now, but an actual location map, beautifully detailed. Tons of stuff here. So presumably like an asteroid or something like that that has habitable zones on here. Just double checking. Yeah, it's one-sided. But another massive full color map in here. So we got that. What else we got? Another full color thing here. I think this is probably the Spelljammer itself, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So the actual like, Spelljammer vessel. And then again, a full color map of everything on board the ship. And just to give you guys an idea too, there you go. So pretty damn big if we basically got like multiple castles on the hull of the ship here. So, but yet a third map there. Now we get to a fourth one. And must be some sort of like star map here. Let's see what we got. We're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah, planetary display map. So some sort of navigation tool for that. Yes, that would explain that. So we're gonna get the rest of these out of here. Get the box lid off to the side for just a second. But then we get all these cutouts of the different ships that I think, yep, are meant to work with these black things here for the space battle version. Of course, now with 3D printing and everything, really people could be, maybe there are STLs out there, but coming up with like STLs for Spelljammer ships. So somebody could probably make good bank on that. But yeah, I think you, like in some of these, like maybe like you fold them together and then like use those little black tab things to get them to stick right. And then, like I said, you have your actual space battle minis essentially in here, your card-based minis. And then, yep, another token sheet here. Of course, this one's not perfect. None of this stuff's perforated, so you would have to be doing a lot of cutting, careful cutting, right? You don't want to screw up. It's not like you can just reach out to TSR for a replacement anymore. But yeah, you've got that. And just kind of a plain sheet at the end there. But that is everything that you get in there. Let's take a look at the back of the box, right? So, yeah, 296-page books describing everything that you need for running in the setting. And again, we've already unboxed some of these supplementary sets that they've added to the game there too. 4 maps showing planetary orbits, the gigantic Spelljammer, asteroid city, and a tactical grid for space battles. So again, you got a game within a game here. Super value, right? Full color cardstock sheets showing deck plans of the most common ships, stand-up pieces for playing out tactical battles in space. So yeah, so really they back in the day, I mean, they kind of knocked it out of the park with this, right? It's a whole new way of playing D&D. You got a game within a game, right? If you just want to play some space battles, right? Maybe kind of being like space pirates, who knows? But lots of great ability here to, like, you know, doing your adventuring in space, and then maybe we pop over into maybe some planar travel, visit another setting or something like that. So I mean, you have endless possibilities with Spelljammer, and of course the Stinger, of course, now is like back in the day, right? All that stuff for $18, of course. Yes, it was probably more than what it would be today. In similar terms, we'd probably pay like well over 50 for a box set like this nowadays. But yeah, just back then, being able to find or being able to like pay for something like this with those prices, but in today's terms would be insanely good deals. These are all, this kind of stuff's obviously going for way more now, especially in this condition. But again, look for good stuff. Make sure it's actually original too. There's a lot of people doing like these supposedly authorized reprints of stuff, but you're missing out on a lot of the accessories, like the cards and maps and stuff like that. They can only reprint so much. But yeah, really good stuff here, guys. Definitely worth checking out if you want to get into the OG Spelljammer stuff, and just tons of stuff out there for it. Really great new way to play D&D. And again, you can just even take some other ideas from that and come up with your own homebrews and everything too. But that is the Spelljammer core set. Let us know what you guys think. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll have more D&D content for you soon. Thank you for watching.